Just a month until the Xbox Series consoles launch, and with the platform growing with new consoles, a bigger presence on PC, and extending it all to mobile, it's never been a better time to be a part of Xbox. The roadmap of new exclusive titles coming in the next couple of years boasts some 27 games already confirmed and shown for the first half of the generation. Xbox has much more up their sleeve with a workforce of over 30 teams from 23 studios working on games to fill out the biggest lineup in Xbox history, and we may see the full potential of the Xbox sooner than you'd think. This is Colteastwood. Welcome back to the channel. If you missed last week's video, it is a comprehensive illustrated look at over 25 games coming to Xbox from now until 2023. Right now, I'm going to show you what Xbox Game Studios has prepared for the remainder of the generation. And quick disclaimer, all of these games I am talking about today are Xbox platform exclusives, so they will be available on Xbox console, PC, and xCloud mobile, unless otherwise stated. Xbox games on PC are Xbox, not my rules, that's just how it is. So if you like this kind of content, hit the like and subscribe, and change your player settings to 1080p 60 or 4K 60 if you're at home. And let's look at the future of Xbox. Xbox Game Studios is made up of 23 varied and talented studios that cover the bases of adventure, racing, shooters, and mature story-driven games. And with the group of Bethesda's teams added to the roster, Xbox truly has something for everyone. We already know that with Xbox Studios and partners, the generation is starting off with 27 exclusives in the first 3 years alone. Now with the remaining projects from 13 of the 23 studios that Xbox has not shown or showcased, we have an insight into what these studios are working on right now to deliver in the second half of the generation for Xbox. Compulsion Games is best known for We Happy Few, but they have been asking Xbox for more funding to create something big, and the original minds of the Dishonored series are ambitiously building a new game. Compulsion built We Happy Few with limited crowdfunding and Gearbox support, and now with Xbox Studio support, expect to see a third-person, magical, and eerily satisfying game from Compulsion. Double Fine is about to deliver Psychonauts 2 on all platforms as promised from their multi-platform publisher before being acquired by Xbox. Tim Schafer's team has been getting cozy with Jack Black, and the creative endeavors could be hinting us toward a Brutal Legend sequel of sorts, bringing the underworld of heavy metal into the new generation. A PC staple of real-time strategy, Age of Empires 4 on PC, is in the works to come for Xbox Series S and X, thanks to the ramped-up processing and mouse and keyboard support, as well as a honed controller interface for couch enthusiasts. Age of Empires 4 retains the classic feel and look of the period piece wartime game with clean and vibrant updated visuals, with masses of soldiers battling through stone, stick, and mud to reclaim the countryside for the first time on console. Not yet confirmed, but coming soon to Xbox. In Exile, the veterans of the RPG have been hard at work, creating a brand new AAA IP, a first-person RPG with a big budget from a studio that brought us the Wasteland series. In Exile has hired combat design leads from high-class AAA first-person shooter studios to build a new immersive shooter with deep decision-based role-playing, possibly in a post-apocalyptic world. In Exile's new RPG won't be seen for a couple of years. Arcane, the team behind Dishonored and Prey, is in deep development of the latest first-person action thriller, rumored to be a true sequel to Prey. Prey 2 builds on the immersive sneaking and survival of the hit of 2017 with big additions and new generation graphics and upgrades. Arcane has been working on this project for a couple of years, so if it is Prey 2, expect to see it teased as early as 2021. Obsidian Entertainment is working on Avowed, a massive open-world RPG, but their team has been busy planning Outer Worlds 2, a spacefaring first-person action RPG that is Fallout-like in space with dripping colors and attitude. Outer Worlds 2 is a late-generation title, and with big funding from Xbox, it can truly find its potential with a huge publisher. The team may also be able to deliver something even bigger than that, but we'll get into it in a moment. id, the premier first-person shooter developer of all time, is working on plans for the next in a trifecta of rip and tear with the next Doom entry only on Xbox. id Tech Engine has been performing miracles, and the next Doom will continue to push the envelope of what the Xbox Series S and X consoles can do with fast-paced, high-quality, blood-smattering visuals and incredibly fast frame rates, with a third modern Doom game. Expect to see the next Doom on Xbox in 2024. The Coalition is working on the last entry for the Diaz and Phoenix family with Gears 6. Gears has become one of Xbox's best-looking shooters, and with the power of the Series S and X, we will see a game built to take advantage of the latest power. Gears 6 may follow Kate into one last storyline based on your choices made in the 5th game. The Coalition will have the full freedom to build a whole new Gears game and elevate the franchise with a bigger, more open world and new, customizable character building thanks to the foundation in Gears Tactics. Playground Games is working on Fable coming to Xbox soon, but their other team is working on the long-rumored Forza Horizon Drift or Forza Horizon Tokyo. Since Xbox has shifted into a service-based platform, rumors point to Playground taking this extra time to create something called Forza Horizon Festivals. This would be a Forza Horizon foundation built upon the stellar game series with every 2 years a full-size new map and campaign built all into one game throughout the generation. Forza Horizon may start in the streets of Tokyo and cherry blossoms of the Japanese countryside and take us to a new country 2 years later by selling big expansions, adding on to the game instead of buying a new separate game every 2 years. Forza Horizon returns to Xbox in 2022. The Initiative Studios have been working on a new game that is already in a playable state and nearly ready to show, possibly this year before the launch of the Xbox Series consoles. The new game is Perfect Dark, but in the Perfect Dark universe. Reportedly a third-person action stealth game in a cyberpunk future. Leaving behind the once clean futuristic aesthetics of the 90s games, this Perfect Dark game is much like the Hitman series with an emphasis on shooting, stealth, and takedowns with subterfuge. The Initiative's new game may be shown this year, but it's not likely to release until 2023 or 2024. Machine Games is working and nearly complete on the third, but not the last, Wolfenstein game for the new series, dubbed Wolfenstein 3, but with some variation of the words Wolfenstein New. Wolfenstein has become one of the modern marvels in dynamic, visceral first-person combat, with unrelenting enemies and a hard-hitting story thanks to the soft but brutal BJ Blazkowicz. The new Wolfenstein game is coming as early as 2021 or 2022, only on the Xbox platform. Finally, Bethesda Games. After they have delivered Starfield in 1 year and Elder Scrolls 6 not long after, we can expect the long-awaited next-generation entry of a true Fallout game in Fallout 5, all in a new engine. Fallout 5 would be a late-generation addition to Xbox and possibly Todd Howard's last game in an excellent storied career. Fallout 5 would be bigger and better, and a far cry from what Fallout 76 was, but until we see Fallout 5, it is very likely that Obsidian Entertainment, who has been begging Bethesda for rights to do a Fallout spin-off, may have the opportunity to release Fallout in a new location with the Obsidian touch, much like we saw with Fallout New Vegas in 2010. Fallout 5 will be a huge addition to the Xbox and a fitting title to help close out what looks to be a game-packed generation. The Xbox platform has some 40 games in the works for the Xbox Series console generation right now from 23 talented studios, and even more coming from Xbox Global Publishing. Each and every one of these games are coming to Xbox Game Pass day and date, at release, and to PC and xCloud mobile gaming on the Android, and now iOS next year. Xbox is definitely filling the deficit with tons of big games and more to be announced, and it looks like it all starts this holiday. This is Colteastwood. Thank you so much for watching. If you missed my last video, I'll link it here at the end of the video. I covered 27 of the games coming to Xbox last week, coming in just the first 3 years. All of those have been shown and confirmed. Xbox is totally different from the platform they were just a few years ago, and I can see that the competition going into next year is going to reward millions of gamers no matter where you choose to play. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel, hit the bell to be notified of new weekly content, and follow me on Xbox Live and Twitter. Huge things are coming to the channel next week that have never happened before for me or this channel, so hit the bell if you want to be notified when that news and that content is ready to share. Let me know in the comments which unannounced game I showed you today has you the most hyped. Enjoy the new gameplay coming this week, shown on the Xbox Series X. And as always, be nice.